What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Gooner channel. And it's finished at St James Park, Newcastle 0, Arsenal 2. And what a fantastic performance. What a grown-up, mature performance in a cauldron. The atmosphere up there, electric, exactly what you'd expect. And look, we've become only the second team to get 3 points at St James Park this season. Arteta got all of the big pre-match decisions right as far as I'm concerned. He stayed with Kivior, who barely put a foot wrong, looked really solid and dependable. An outstanding performance for somebody when you think it's only his second Premier League game, second Premier League start. And the biggest decision of all has got to be the decision to leave Thomas Partey out. Strong, solid, quick, physical player that it's almost certainly going to need at a place like St James's Park. But instead he went with the guile, the cunning, the experience of Jorginho, the big match experience of Jorginho. And boy, did he get that right. Jorginho, absolutely peerless today. Really gave us that kind of calm. Really, really helped us by winning all his duels, by moving the ball between defence and midfield. A real captain's performance, but the actual captain also with an outstanding goal, Martin Odegaard. The refereeing, we got a break from VAR this time, and I think it was nothing more than we deserved. What could have been given as a penalty actually doesn't hit Kivior's hand, or it doesn't look like it. Certainly hits his leg first, and so that was overruled. But it was looking like, we were going to fall victim to an early start by Newcastle. But through all of their huffing and puffing, and frankly, I've got to say, this is the worst I've felt about a Newcastle performance. I thought that they were overly aggressive, overly physical, niggly, nasty, and it wasn't called for. But apart from a yellow card for Nketiah for retaliating when he was pushed, honestly, I thought, the young men out there held their heads up high all the way through. Ramsdale with fantastic saves. A really solid performance by almost everybody. Arteta getting the pre-match decisions absolutely spot on. Also, I think, at the end of the first half, I was pretty clear that I wanted to see Zinni come off. Not because I don't think he's a great player. I do love the way Zinchenko helps us to play. But in the last few games, he's looked casual. Passes have gone astray. He just hasn't looked like he's got that fire in his belly. I don't know what's up there. Could be just tiredness, could be fatigue, could be nerves at the top of the table. But it was great to see Kieran Tierney come on. And as soon as he came on, he presented a lot more of a blocking left back. So Newcastle, I was disappointed overall with them. I was disappointed with Isaac. I think, though, that you have to give credit to the stifling work we did. Everybody defended from the front. Jesus was getting mixed in with everything up front. And I thought Saka had a really quiet game. That may be a down spot. It's got to be worth the consideration just to rest him for a bit. I know Arteta doesn't like to do it, but every now and again, I think it's worth chucking on a Reece Nelson. We have been linked extensively over the last couple of days with Rafinha. Well, we have for a while now. I can understand that if we had someone like that on a bench, it might be that Saka gets a rest from time to time. But overall, I think I'd be nitpicking. Ben White, solid at the back. Granit Xhaka with a couple of blocks that were absolutely brilliant, and he was fighting every battle today. I thought that Martinelli's, you got to give him an assist for the own goal by Shah. It would have otherwise, I think he would have found Odegaard and who was open. He was tireless with his running, but I think it's a long season and you're seeing it by Martinelli and Saka. I thought that overall, Gabriel was exactly what you wanted, and thank God he was fit for this game. And I suppose a few questions answered there about whether two left-footed centre-backs can play together. I think it's a silly question. Two right-footed centre-backs is never questioned. But this looked like a solid performance. I've even seen speculation that this might be the best centre-back pairing we've got. It's what happens at a top club, though. When you start going out with injuries, you do have to worry about getting your place back, no matter how good you are. We saw that with Jesus and Trossard. We're seeing it now with Saliba. If Kivior can have a similarly good performance in the game against Brighton on Sunday, then who knows? But it is on to Brighton. And more importantly than anything else, with just 3 games to go, Arsenal are still technically in the hunt for the Premier League title. And even if we don't win it from here, certainly I don't think that we can. Certainly I think we can be proud of that performance. Such a contrast from last year when we lost 2-0. such an important result in terms of just reminding Man City that they can't take anything for granted. Their next fixture is 1 o'clock next Sunday, is away to Everton. Now, look, do I really think that Everton will get anything out of the game? Not really. But I honestly did not think that we would get anything out of this game today. I predicted a 3-1 to Newcastle. Boy, was I wrong, and am I glad to have been wrong. We march on to next Sunday, and I'm thrilled about it. So, let me know what you thought about the game. Let me know what you thought about the refereeing. VAR got it right today, overruling a penalty. Overall, I think it was a really difficult match to referee, but I think they could have shown some cards a little sooner. He could have shown some cards a little sooner. Chat doesn't matter to me now. The right team won. I think the team deserved to win one, and absolutely thrilling. Can't wait for the next match. And I'm also going to be glued to watching Man City play Real Madrid, because who knows, if that game's delicately poised and the second game after the Everton game goes to extra time, they have got some tricky fixtures still to navigate. They've still got to play Brentford away and Brighton away for the last 2 games of the season. And who knows, Chelsea might play a part in this title race after all. Apart from winning the second half of the table, Chelsea could throw a spanner into Man City's works by getting a draw or better at the Etihad. Whatever happens, we are going to need City to drop points in 2 games. It's possible. And while it's possible, I'm thrilled. So I'm going to enjoy the rest of my Sunday and a fabulous bank holiday to all of you. Newcastle 0, Arsenal 2, Jorginho man of the match, and a fantastic 81 points. What more could you ask for? Be lucky. Lots of love.